The copyright music is being muted.
Wow.
Snazzy.
Incredible.
So, welcome to the first ever Known World United Extra Life Dungeon Taskers. Imagine Dungeon Masters, but for charity, nerd-themed, and hopefully legally distinct. I, Zack, am your assistant Dungeon Master tonight. In charge of tallying points and keeping score, and all the other kinds of antagonist and protagonist relations. I have created 12.5 fiendishly clever and geeky tasks, and gathered 5 lost souls who are willing to beclown themselves for your amusement. But I, of course, am not qualified to judge the tasks that I have imagined, which is why I've sought out a great and wise dungeon master to oversee the event. Lance?
First, I'm going to doubt that this is going to be fiendish, and I'll be the judge of if this is going to be clever or not once we get to the final, or honestly, sometimes arbitrary judging that's going to occur tonight. Now, I do want a nice, clean competition. No cheating. Cheating will be punished by everlasting shame and merciless mockery. So you're all in the honor system, and since you're off on the other side of your laptops and whatnot. Now, let's get on with this, Worm.
Yes, Dungeon Master. As I said, we have 5 desperate adventurers ready to delve into our metaphorical dungeon and perform tasks to amuse us. And they are, well, first it's Lady Christie, the Slayer of Chairs, and my wife, which probably puts her at a disadvantage somehow and at least casts doubt on her judgment. Next, we have Greg, the Vowellist, who doesn't want to talk about what happened in that cave that one time. Then we have James the Beard. It'd be nice to say that his beard isn't his only personality trait, but and I'm saying that as somebody who has a handlebar mustache. We also have Joel, which is good. He draws things. He's here to help raise money for kids, which even includes Grandpa Joel. And finally, Ryan the Warrior, who's so tall he often can't reach anything on the bottom shelf.
So, what are all these misbegotten creatures competing for tonight?
Oh, well, I have obtained for their delight this valueless mug.
What?
Ooh.
Look at it. No value.
You could display it to have an excuse to relay anecdotes of this event. You can store pencils in it. You can drink tea from it. If you're adventurous, you can do both, improving your dexterity and perhaps your endurance by drinking tea out of it while there's still pencils in it.
This is all sounding extremely ridiculous and utterly pointless.
Well, the pencils do have points, but it will also be ridiculous. And it'll be for a good cause, since Extra Life raises money for children's hospitals across North America. The first challenge for our contestants is this, in fact. Whoever's Extra Life fundraiser gets the most donations from now until about 2 hours from now or so, when we're wrapping up the tasks at an arbitrary point that I'll announce when it occurs. Whoever gets the most donations during that time frame will win 5 points. And then in great Taskmaster tradition, the second most gets 4, 3, 2, 1, and so forth.
Well, I mean, let's make this extremely unfair, and let's just say that if there's a tie in points for the point total, the person that raised the most wins too.
Ooh,
As you command your malevolence.
those are high stakes.
In terms of most donations, do we mean total dollars or individual donate? Like if somebody donated 1,000 individual dollars.
I am not qualified to make that snap judgment. Dungeon Master, is it the most total number of donations or the most total amount of donations?
I like the idea of lots of people donating. Total dollars is nice, but the most number of donations.
I will update my spreadsheet.
Ooh. Hmm.
Now, without further ado, let's crack on to the prize task. For the prize task, you've all each been asked to select and present the nerdiest thing that you own that can fit in the palm of your hand. You'll have about a minute to introduce yourself and justify to the Dungeon Master why you've brought in the nerdiest thing that you own that can fit in the palm of your hand. We're going to go alphabetically by first name. So, Christy, justify your choice.
This is in the palm of my hand, this tiny little velvet bag, which contains my wedding dice. When the Dungeon Master's assistant and I were married, we had, as a favor to our wedding guests, custom printed little dice that have our wedding date on one side, and they're also Chessex Borealis, which, if you know dice, are very, very fancy. And then when we said our vows, we actually rolled initiative to see who said their vows first. So this is our roll for initiative wedding vow dice.
It's incredible.
Thank you.
Moving on to Greg.
Okay, so this is my Star Trek The Next Generation comm badge that I purchased when I went to my one and only Star Trek convention, because I was obsessed with getting one of these for some reason. It's probably the most expensive Star Trek thing I ever purchased. Yeah, so I bought a Star Trek comm badge at a Star Trek convention where I met Marina Sirtis. Counselor Troy for you non-Trekkies.
Continuing alphabetically, it's time for the beard.
This right here is the sticker to a PlayStation 1 copy of Jackie Chan's Stuntmaster from the year of our Lord 2000. I kept a number of my favorite games stickers upon the border of a pin board where I keep my pins to this day and have a plethora of stickers from my favorite games. Thank you, Midway Entertainment.
All right, and Joel, what have you brought in?
In the palm of my hand, I have a lovely, complete with fob, pocket watch. And if someone would be so kind as to ask me the time.
What's the time, Joel?
Oh, no.
I'm going to click it. This opens up, and it's time for some mofo D&D, because it's got a full set of little tiny polyhedral.
What?
Wow.
So not only is there a thing that fits in the small of my hand, but also in it is more nerdy things that fit in the palm.
Oh my gosh. Amazing.
And I wore it to a wedding.
Tragically, not our nerdy wedding, because we were not
No.
yet.
But that would have been spectacular.
That would have been spectacular.
spectacular.
Would have been a lot of dice.
There were so many dice at that wedding, regardless.
Nice.
All right, so then it is Ryan.
Okay. I have really big hands, but I went with something that'll fit in a human-sized hand. This is a set of bullet-shaped dice, metal dice, fancy metal dice. They were given to me as a gift by my friend Linda, who I've been nerd friends with for like 25 years. We play a Blades in the Dark game, and my character is a hound. He's a bounty hunter. He's believe it or not, a grizzly old cowboy. And his name is Tex S. Hold'em. And with these babies, I literally have a 6-shooter with these. So,
All right.
good.
Now, having seen these nerdy things, do you have any questions, Dungeon Master, or would you just like to score them?
Let's just score them. I mean,
Okay.
Let's be honest. This is a massive assembly of nerds. But since we got to press on, I'm going to award 5 points to James with all of the dice. And I mean, believe me, I love the wedding dice. They always roll really well for me. The fact that you have from a PlayStation 1 the game sticker, that is dedication to some kind of nerdom that the rest just weren't quite there yet.
And in second place?
I'm gonna give that to Lady Christie. Like I said, I love those wedding dice. They roll really well.
Mine don't.
All right, continuing down on the line, who gets 3 points?
I didn't know this about Greg. The fact that he went to a Star Trek convention. That's number 3.
All right, and now we're scraping the bottom of the nerdy barrel.
I'm going with Joel for a watch and dice. And then Ryan, unfortunately, is last this time around.
Wow, that's fine. That's fine.
All right, well, let's get to our very first task. We're going to have Christy be the one who opens and reads the first task.
Oh god. Oh god. Okay, I got it. Task 1. Write down 2 different kinds of monsters. By kind of monster, we mean generic category or type of monster, like an orc or a rock. The first monster you write down should be one that is ridiculous and fun. The second monster you write down should be one that is cool and dangerous. You have 30 seconds to decide on your monsters and write them down.
Are you going to say...
Your time starts now! Sorry.
We enter the first awkward silence of the event.
With these people around, this is not going to be the only awkward moment of this event.
Wow.
All right. Make sure you have written down your monsters. One thing that the participants don't know yet is that they provided us a list of words that we've used Mad Lib style to create the dreaded dungeon of Mad Blib. And our esteemed dungeon master will be running the dungeon for me as we go. At the end of the event, the dungeon master will even award points to the rooms he thinks worked best, or that he enjoyed the most, or that killed me the most.
Now, you'd all do well not to give me any hints as to who's responsible for these rooms, just in case I get annoyed through this and I want to punish somebody. So are you ready to start? Room 1, assistant. So you're entering a dungeon. You're entering a dungeon in search of a baked Alaska, but you'll settle for the Lego Death Star if you can find one. Finishing your bag of root beer barrels that you've been eating on this entire journey, you arrive in the dreaded dungeon of the Mad Lib. Emanating from the dark cavernous opening is the overpowering scent of buttered popcorn. But inside the entrance is a statue of a capybara made entirely of the most useless metal electrum. And it's holding a jousting. Not really sure what a jousting is, but we'll go with it.
Maybe it's a lance.
Maybe it is, which I like that. Beyond is a chamber with a Ziploc bag sitting in the middle of the room. What are you going to do?
Well, I think that my character, Mortimer the Feckless, is going to stride over boldly and grab up the Ziploc.
As you start to try to grab the Ziploc, you realize it's being guarded by an owlbear who has secretly dreamed of being a proctologist his entire life. The guard is holding a container of Play-Doh and sitting on a futon. As they're getting ready to defend that plastic bag from you, they pull out a set of nunchucks and attack. Please roll a dexterity roll to get away from those nunchucks.
I have rolled a 5.
Oh, the nunchucks come out of nowhere and hit you right in the belly. You go down, gasping for air. What do you do now, assistant?
I guess I'm going to drink one of my few healing potions and attempt to run on to the next room.
So beyond the chamber and the guard is a pool of lava that there is chartreuse that you need to jump over it. And within, sitting right next to it, is a container filled with a toilet plunger and a severed goblin kneecap that is just absolutely ravishing. What do you grab first?
Apparently, I'm grabbing this ravishing goblin kneecap and fleeing with my prize.
Excellent. As you're fleeing with your prize, you come to this decorative door that is that enters into the next chamber that is just covered in flying buttresses. And that's going to be the end of Dungeon Room 1.
I wonder if I'm going to see more buttresses.
I mean, proctologists, buttresses, I imagine we will.
Well,
Hold on to your buttress.
speaking of holding on to your buttress, contestants, are you ready for task 2?
100%.
All right. Greg, would you like to open and read task 2 for me, please?
So that would be envelope G1 or
Envelope
Or-
G2.
G2? Okay. Break the seal on this. That's fancy. Okay. Pat, going back to what you wrote down for task 1, imagine an individual representative of both the first monster and the second monster you wrote down. Give each of these monsters a name, and then imagine the perfect activity if these two monsters went out on a first date. You have 2 minutes to write down date ideas before you present the best date idea for this unlikely pair of monsters to the Dungeon Master. Your time starts now.
Well, Dungeon Master, what kind of romantic... Well, I guess we don't want to give them ideas for romantic dates. Perhaps what are some, like, not romantic dates monsters would go on?
Oh.
I
know a couple, but we talked about keeping this PG-13, and I know a few things that could be just too horrifying to talk about here. But
I was going to suggest the 100th or the 1000th embrace day of a vampire. That would be a very poor first date.
That would be. That really, really would be.
We're looking at 1:20 for our contestants. Make a good use of that time. You need to impress the Dungeon Master with some romantic dates for both a ridiculous and fun monster, but also a cool and dangerous monster.
I'm imagining like now they're going to be like figuring out like they're going to take me to like a cafeteria or something, or
A box factory.
Ooh.
Exciting.
The chat did give a really good idea, but I'm not going to spoil it and give them extra help.
Just under 30 seconds now.
And Greg, bean water doesn't count. You can't add bean water in there.
I know.
I should have worked beans in somehow. I should have just had Greg have a can of beans to count.
You missed your golden opportunity in the intro.
All right. Time is up. Please set aside your papers. And we're going to go in reverse alphabetical order this time. And we'll start with Warrior.
Oh my God.
What are your two monsters? And what is the romantic date you're sending them on?
Okay, we were supposed to name them, right?
Yes.
Did I hear that? Okay.
Yes.
So I have a cool and scary displacer beast named Panthro, and I have a fun and dangerous mimic named Panthro, and they spend their first date on their way to their destination. They take a long walk across a bridge, using their large paws and terrible tentacled tails to push other romantic couples off the side of the bridge, into the water, onto cars. There's a lot of fun sounds. It's very exciting. A lot of them are right by the edge, so they just kind of just pat them right off. They then arrive at their destination, the bank. Panthro evades security by going invisible, and Panthro impersonates the vault. And they just spend the evening eating everyone inside. It's very nutritious. Again, there's lots of fun noises. And then they really hit it off. So they just end there in the blood-soaked bank, giving each other reciprocal tongue baths.
Not sure if that's romantic, but that's for the Dungeon Master to decide after he's heard all of these. Joel, what are your monsters and what romantic date have you sent them on?
For Silly, I went with Jabberwocky, who is named Sally, and for Cool and Dangerous, Ice Giant seemed appropriate, and his name is Harry. And when Sally met Harry, they went and on their first date, they destroy a small chalet or village, just devouring people left and right, because who doesn't love a picnic?
That's nice.
Short and sweet, perhaps. James, what monsters did you imagine, and what romantic date have you sent them on?
I imagine the most soulless thing that I could think of that people seem to think are as fun, but I don't think so, is a Furby. And her name was Philomena. And the most grotesque and scary thing is the undefeatable Tarrasque. No one can beat the Tarrasque. This Tarrasque's name is Ray. Ray, frankly, loves Jack in the Box tacos, so tries to bring Philomena there. Philomena, sadly soulless, also electronic, cannot eat organic food to sustain her. So they decide that maybe they'll move on to the second part of their date, which is riding through a tunnel of love. Unfortunately, run into another issue here. Trask is gargantuan and cannot fit in the boat, nay, even through the tunnel of love. But you know what they can do? Find a nice spot out in the ocean where they can both go in. Philomena, doing her best not to get wet, surrounds herself in a plastic bag. She doesn't need to breathe anyways. And they have a beautiful walk on the seaside.
All right. Greg, what are your monsters and what romantic date did you send them on?
Okay, so Jack the Jackalope, which I thought was a good goofy monster, along with Edward the vampire. They went on a lovely date together where they went out for pasta. They went on a nice long drive through the woods to where they played softball with Edward's family. And it was just a lovely, wholesome get-together where they got to get to know each other very well.
That just leaves Christy. What monsters did you create, and did you have them have a naked spaghetti dinner date?
Naked.
Tragically, no. My monsters are one, Mike Wazowski of Monsters Inc. fame, and his dear love, Rhonda the Rancor of Star Wars fame, who recently got together after Rhonda the Rancor's fairly unjust imprisonment for quite some time. And Mike Wazowski has really decided that he needs to share the world of stand-up comedy with Rhonda. He thinks she would really like it. So they go on a really lovely date to see some nice stand-up comedy. You know, there's some drinks, there's some tapas. It's a very nice occasion. Rhonda the Rancor decides that stand-up comedy is hot garbage and just eats a bunch of stand-up comics, and it's the best night she's ever had. 10 out of 10, 5 stars, would do it again.
Well, having heard all of these romantic dates and these monsters, as a reminder, one of them was supposed to be fun and ridiculous, and the other cool and dangerous. Dungeon Master, what is your judgment? Who takes 5 points? Who takes 1 point? Does anyone even deserve 5 points?
I can't believe I'm going to say this. It literally pains me to say this, but these were some amazing dates. There were several of these that should have been 5 points. But the one that I think deserves 5 points the most is Worrier, because really it was like a couple's date. Like they had a date, they brought in other people as part of it, throwing them off bridges, eating them. It was phenomenal. Now, that being said, fourth place is really, really hard or 4 points is really, really hard for me, because I love the puns and I love the fact that the most terrifying monster that was talked about here, the scariest, was the Furby. So I'm torn. I am really torn on who's going to get 4 versus who's going to get 3 here.
You can award 4 points. It is your whim.
Oh, that's right. I sometimes forget I can be absolutely arbitrary.
Yes.
You know what? Joel and James, 4 points. Both of you.
Joel and James each get 4. Got it.
Now, that means, I think, just to keep the points interesting, I'm going to have to put Greg and Christy at 1. If we're going to have 2 4s, we're going to have 2 1s out of this. I'm sorry. It was good. Yours were good, but I mean, in the grand scheme of some of these dates, I'm sorry.
That's fair.
Family time with Edward was good, but a Furby is going to give me nightmares for a while.
Yeah. As
All
will
right.
it all, or as we will all.
In true Dungeon Tasker or Taskmaster fashion, some of you were given tasks that not everyone received.
Oh no.
The first of these tasks falls to Christy.
Damn it! What'd you make me do?
Christy received a task where she was reminded that canonically, in one of the lesser-known AD&D adventures or supplements, mind flayers smell like garlic.
Do this.
And so she was asked to name 12 other monsters and what unusual and unexpected smells they would have. Christy, do you have that handy, or do you want me to read it?
I don't have it handy.
Dungeon Master, this is you could, for these solo tasks, you could arbitrarily decide if they're worth points. No more than 5, but you can decide what they could be rewarded with for these. So Christy had said that a displacer beast would smell like outside before a big old thunderstorm. She said that a gelatinous cube would smell like Jell-O salad, specifically the one made with lime Jell-O and mini marshmallows. She thinks that a cockatrice would smell of eggs Benedict. That a shambling mound would smell like when you buy a bag of spinach with every intention of using it and then find it in the back of the fridge 3 weeks later.
Yep.
For a gibbering mouther, she thinks it would smell like an electrical fire. Medusas, she thinks would smell of bad, overly floral old lady perfume. She speculates that a boulet, the land shark, would smell of Cheddar Bay biscuits from Red Lobster. She goes with a basilisk smelling like Axe body spray. Doesn't specify which scent. She imagines that a flump would smell of cat pee. That a rust monster smells of gasoline. That a grell, the floating brains with tentacles and a bird's beak, smell of absolutely ripe Yankee candles with ridiculous names like Evening Cashmere. And finally, she thinks that an owl bear would smell like fresh from the dryer laundry.
Oh, I like that.
Oh.
Doesn't seem like what they would smell like.
Because it's downy.
And they love hugs.
Murderous hugs.
Would you like to award Christy any bonus points for her solo task.
Yes, I do want to give her some points. There were a few of those that I really, really agreed with. So there's part of me that's like 5 points, but that would be just being too nice. So I think let's go 2.5.
2.5. Our first
2.5.
Points.
Hey, you gave me the power. Listen, assistant, I have the power to be arbitrary. Let's hope I don't get into imaginary numbers next.
This is the first half point ever.
Oh my goodness.
Taskmaster history.
And it looks like we have a guest.
Yes.
All right.
It's my dungeon
Hi,
cat.
Rudo.
Animal handling in action.
Now, it's time for another room from the dungeon, the Dread Dungeon of Mad Lib.
Now, assistant, do you remember what the door looked like you were about to walk through, or do I have to explain it again?
I remember there were a lot of flying buttresses.
Exactly. So you're going to open up that door, and there's a large chamber that's dominated by a large glowing plaque, and it's just sitting there in the center of the room. As you just go inside the door, you find that it's moist, and laying there on the floor is this moist taser next to a vacuum cleaner and a scroll. What do you do?
Well, it seems like the taser would be useful later in the dungeon, so I think I'm going to take that taser. And maybe I'll wipe the moistness off on my shirt.
So now your shirt is nice and moist. Okay,
I'm regretting this already.
Just getting that mental image now. Okay. Off in the distance, there's a pair of items beyond, about a foot-high carving of an accountant. And on the other side, a frisbee. And between them is a door with cremulations. And sitting underneath this is a Tupperware pitcher. Are you going to keep advancing on?
Yes, but I'm going to have to stop and investigate that Tupperware pitcher.
Okay. As you open it, you find out that inside of it is a Zamboni. But when you open it without checking for traps, because you didn't say I was checking for traps, you're sprayed by pink cocaine. And there's also silver aubergine that's just coming out everywhere from this Tupperware pitcher. Please roll a Constitution save.
I have rolled a 3.
Oh, it turns out you are highly, highly allergic to aubergine and pass away.
Well, I guess I'll have to enter the next room with Mortimer the Feckless Jr.
Ah, excellent. Mortimer, the Feckless Jr., realizes that one, this aubergine was in the shape of a uvula sitting on a pile of broken chaise lounges that you hadn't noticed. But sitting off in the corner, eating gumdrops, is a Medusa that smells strongly of burning toast. See, that was the correct answer, Christy.
Not old lady perfume.
There are 2 doors leading out of this chamber. One is carved to show a possum, and the other is carved to be made out of apple stock. Which door do you go after?
I think I have to go through the possum door.
Excellent. We'll see what happens in room 3 after there's some more tasks for these people, right?
Yes. In fact, I'm realizing now that my system of having them open tasks alphabetically is being foiled because we've come to our first team task. And for this first team task, I would like Joel to open what is labeled as Task 3.
Okay. Trying to be respectful of the wax.
You don't have to be respectful of the wax.
No, I'm giving
I
up.
was absolutely not respectful of the
Giving
wax. I wasn't respectful of the task.
Okay, task 3, team of 2. Oh, shit. There are 2 of you on your team, Christy and Joel.
No.
Decide,
Let it be the drawing task.
decide which of you will give instructions and which of you will follow instructions. You have 30 seconds to decide. Your time
Give or
starts
follow.
now. Do you want whatever you want?
Joel pick. Joel pick. Joel pick.
You give instructions.
Okay.
All right. Now, not that you don't know what's going to be on your task, James, but would you like to open your task 3 and read it out? If you're talking, you're muted, James.
Task 3, team of 3. There are 3 of you on your team, Greg, James, and Ryan. Decide which of you will give instructions and which 2 of you will follow instructions. You have 30 seconds to decide. Your time starts now.
I'm going to follow instructions.
I'll follow instructions.
I'll give.
All right, that was much less much less contentious than I was expecting.
What can I say? Words?
Now, Christy, you're giving instructions, right?
I believe that was what was decided, yes.
Christy, please open task 4.
So my task 3 is just invalid at this point?
Yes.
Okay. Task 4, team of 2. Have your teammate draw the dungeon and the envelope labeled "Do Not Open" by describing it for them. We chose correctly, Joel.
I'm not sure. The last time I drew a dungeon, it didn't go well.
You cannot show the dungeon to your teammates or the camera. You cannot use the following words: up, down, left, right, back, forward, north, south, east, west.
Oh, I would have choked.
Oh, God.
If you use one of the following words, the Dungeon Master's assistant will require that your teammate roll an even number on a die before they can continue drawing. The team with the most accurate dungeon wins. You have 5 minutes. Your time starts after you remove the dungeon from the envelope. Okay, so if our time hasn't started yet,
Correct.
can we
It
use
has
this
not.
time to decide on a
No.
no?
That's against you. You can't pre-plan now. We're on a strict time schedule. I can't edit this. So what you need to do is you need to steel yourself and open the envelope. For those in chat, I'm going to share the dungeon they're trying to draw, but people shouldn't look. And when
There's nothing in that
when
envelope.
Joel
Hold on.
is ready with a piece of graph paper, we'll let Christy start to describe.
Good lord.
Oh, no. Okay.
All right.
Assistant, this is how you might have fewer friends after all of this is done.
You say that like I have friends to begin with.
Oh, what am I? Chopped liver?
Oh no.
That is exactly what I wanted to hear.
This is the moment being
Right.
the Dungeon Master is the absolute best because I know what you guys are all going to draw or about to draw after this, and it's the most malevolent thing I've ever seen.
Christy, are you ready? Joel, are you ready?
No.
Your time starts now.
All right. Starting at the bottom. It's kind of just
Near, am I allowed to ask questions?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can ask questions.
you just can't.
Near my pen side or my not pen side?
What?
Clipboard or pen? Do I want to start bottom pen or bottom clipboard?
I don't know what you're asking me. So from the bottom,
I'm trying
bottom working skyward. Bottom working skyward.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Sort of a triangle shape. And then a cylinder. Bottom working skyward. Looking at it from the side.
Wrong.
Oh no.
Bottom working skyward, looking at it from the side. Flat triangle. And then there's like a
triangle. It's just a line.
what? Looking at it from the side. Draw a piece of pizza. Draw a piece of pizza shape.
You have 3 minutes and 20 seconds.
Okay, put a soup can shape on the pizza. Then like a mountainy shape on top of the soup can.
A what?
A mountainy shape. Ziggity zaggity.
I'm so screwed.
Okay, then like a pneumatic tube portal situation. Upward from the mountains.
Like how long?
Use your heart.
This is graph paper, like 3 squares.
10 squares?
2.5 minutes.
Oh god. Okay, then a rhombus. This is a rhombus. So you got a tube, you got a rhombus, you got another tube from that rhombus.
That still goes skyward?
Yes.
How big is this tube?
Not as big as the last one. Like 3/4 is that big.
Okay.
You're doing great.
Yep. It's,
Then I don't know how to describe that shape. A blobby at the top of that tube. And then like an elevator shaft.
how is that different from a pneumatic tube?
A minute and a half.
Squarer. I think the tube is cylindrical.
All square.
Squarer.
It is squarer than what is already square. Okay.
Yes, please. Spectacular.
How tall is the elevator shaft?
What?
How tall is the elevator shaft?
About as tall as the first tube.
Okay.
And then there's like a hammock shape at the bottom of the elevator shaft.
Would it be at the top of the shaft?
Don't ask questions. The
Okay.
bottom of the elevator
Hammock shape. Got it.
hammock shape. Then at the far
45 seconds.
end of the hammock shape, another elevator shaft groundward.
This way or this way?
How is it not the same way? What did you just do? Your hand is on the frame. I couldn't see where it was.
This way.
20 seconds.
This way.
This way. This way.
All right, cool. What happens after the shaft?
Just back down into the mountain peak situation then.
Oh, it goes all the way down to the mountain.
2,
Yes.
1, and your time is up. Now, we're going to wait and reveal what the drawing was supposed to be after the team of 3 completes this. Now, to make it clear,
That was incredible.
the team of 3,
Every minute of that.
the Dungeon Master will decide which of the 2 maps
Oh no.
is more accurate of the team of 3, and that will be judged against the team of 2.
Ooh.
So, James,
Oh god.
Yes.
If you want, you can open up task 4, or you could just open up the envelope that says "Do not open" and look at your map.
I'll read task 4 again, just to make sure.
Well, I mean, it might be nice to have the words you can't use.
Yes.
There's that.
Yeah,
Greg and Ryan,
I didn't use any of those.
You should make sure that you are ready to draw.
All right.
You're correct, Christy. You didn't use the forbidden words. Instead, you used things like lobby or hammock.
I personally enjoyed pneumatic tube and elevator shafts.
In the envelope labeled "Do Not Open" by describing it for them. You cannot show the dungeon to your teammates or the camera. You cannot use the following words: up, down, left, right, back, forward, north, south, east, west. If one of your teammate rolls an even number, they can continue, but the other teammate cannot until they also roll an even number. The team with the most accurate dungeon wins. You have 5 minutes. Your time starts after you remove the dungeon from the envelope. And so this is the one, "Do Not Open."
That's the one labeled "Do Not Open." So to be clear, if James uses one of the forbidden words, you both stop drawing. You both try and roll even. When one of you rolls even, that person can continue, but the other person cannot continue until they also roll even.
When can we start asking him questions?
Have you gotten the map out, James?
I just got it out.
All right. Are you ready? Is Greg and Ryan ready to start drawing?
Super ready.
Super
All right,
ready.
I'm super ready for Greg and Ryan to start drawing.
Your time starts now.
James, read it to us as if you are reading a page. Beginning of a sentence, end of a sentence, beginning of a page, end of a page. And is this better in portrait or landscape?
Landscape.
All right.
Axonometric.
I'm sorry, what?
Not flat.
Okay.
Map not flat.
Map not flat.
Map axonometric. Many stair. Many platform.
Okay.
5x3 platform. Bottom stair. Go basement. 3 feet. Platform. Stair. Go basement. Again. 3 platform. Stair. Go basement again. 3 platform. Stair. Go basement again. 3 platform. 3x3. Attached to platform.
It's
Middle
over 3
platform,
minutes.
Stair to first floor. Connect to original platform. Draw many platforms. Diagonal. Connect by stair. Some 5x5. Some 3x5. Some 3x3. Stair go basement. Stair go upstairs.
That's an up.
Ooh.
That's an up.
You need to roll even because you used the
That's
word
one
up
word.
Upstairs.
Upstairs is a single word.
It's
Roll
kind
I
of
the
think
two.
you used
Even.
up and down. I think I've been lax, and I will be punished for this oversight by the dungeon master later. But at 2 minutes, Ryan and Greg need to be rolling even numbers on a die before
Already
they continue
did.
to draw.
Yeah, I already rolled a 2.
Many platform. Stairs go basement. Stairs go first floor.
1
Total
minute and
anarchy.
45.
How long?
1 minute 45.
Oh, God. I keep saying this, but the reality
You wish some blobby things right about now, didn't you?
I just know. I want to know
You
where.
guys know what axonometric is or isometric? 45-degree angle, not flat
God,
map.
no. But I kind of get it.
I mean, I know what that means now, but I didn't draw it though.
Oh,
I'm not going to be able to draw all these stairs.
just draw a bunch. Just draw a bunch of stairs and a bunch of platforms. 3x5, 5x5, a couple hallways. Stairs go basement. Stairs go first floor.
1 minute left.
Hallways 1x5. Very complex. Too hard to speak. Not use words. Add doors. Add porticos.
Add portico.
Who drew this? MC Escher?
You wait until you see it, Greg. This is a very beautiful map, but it's very difficult to explain how to draw. Joel, when you see it, you'll know what I'm talking about.
20 seconds.
So I just want to take this time to thank everybody on my team. I want to thank Warrior. I want to thank Gerg. I'd like to thank Dungeon Master, and I'd like to thank Dungeon Master Assistant for just putting together something so fun.
3,
Christy,
2,
this is real hard.
1.
Big ups.
All right.
All right.
So
Oh,
first,
God.
Christy, can you
Yes.
hold up to the screen the map you were trying to get Joel to draw?
Oh.
This is a map by Dyson Logos. This map is called the
What?
Beholder Pit Isometric Map. Joel, can you please
What?
hold up to the screen what you drew?
Okay, hold
I
on.
didn't say that at all.
That's beautiful. You got the hammock shape. You got the rhombus. It's all there. It's all there. You got the elevator shaft and the teleportation tube thing. It's fine. You did a great job.
That's nice. It's real
All
good.
right.
You like pizza and a can and mountains.
What else you describe this shape?
Not pizza.
It's a pizza.
That's more like an imperial cruiser.
If you had called it 8
You're like a
8
triangle, but sideways. That's if you take a shape and turn it sideways, it's just a line.
All right. And the
Joel, you
music
know too
is
much.
this is.
You know too much
We need
about
to-
drawing.
We need to
The only
continue.
saving grace is at the end of ours. I was really thinking, why didn't I get James to describe things? And then I heard James describe things.
See?
It wasn't any better.
No.
So, James, would you like to show the map and have the pleasure of knowing that this map
Oh,
is by Dyson's Logos and it's called the Dungeon of Impossible Stairs.
Oh, so it was
Okay.
drawn in an Escher-esque
Okay.
style.
I mean,
And now that we've seen the map that James was trying to get his teammates to share or to draw, let's see what Greg drew.
I mean, let me know if this. Oh, hold on. I'll have to turn off the camera effect. All right. Can you see that okay?
Hell yeah, Greg.
okay.
Yes.
I love this like
100%.
Roman courtyard of arches.
100%.
He said porticos.
Yes.
Dad.
Yeah, there are porticos.
No, that's
All right.
that's
Beautiful. That's
All right.
beautiful.
And then, Ryan, let's see what your attempt at a drawing of the Impossible Stairs was.
Yes.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
gonna need-
I think you need to
Well,
move
where?
back just a little.
There we go.
There.
you go.
Yeah,
Dude,
that's
There's lots of
pretty good.
there's
is
lots of
great.
stairs go basement there.
That is
I'm
very much
stoked
what
about that.
Right.
Stairs go basement.
All right.
Stairs
And
go
now-
basement.
Stairs go basement.
Stairs go basement over and over.
Now, Dungeon Master, You get to award points by team. Which team had the better had better drawn this dungeon?
I mean, if we're going off just drawings, I'm not 100% sure on what numbers I should be using, but I think I gotta give it to Warrior. It was that was of the group the best the best drawn map. I did love the go basement. So like this isn't going to be just about the art, because then like we do 1 point, but I think the commentary, I'm gonna give Team B, I'm gonna give 3 points.
All right, and the team of two.
I mean, from a map standpoint, and I mean, Joel, you were handicapped with Christy. I know how she would describe this stuff, so I already knew how this was going to go. But
Lance has tried to draw many a map in our campaign.
The blobby, the hammock, the discussions on elevators versus pneumatic tubes, that's what's saving you here with 2 points.
Yay!
All right.
Joel, that was beautiful. You did a very good job.
And now it's time for the return of Mortimer the Feckless Jr. in a third dungeon room.
So you decided, as Feckless Jr., to go through the door carved with the possum.
Yes.
As you enter in, it is a drippy, cavernous chamber with many stalactites. And in there seems to be a papasan chair for some reason, just out of place. And sitting in it is a giraffe.
Sure.
With also an illusion of a giraffe holding a sigh right next to it.
Oh, no.
Surrounded by the smell of bergamot.
Very specific.
What are you thinking of doing as you see a papasan with a giraffe and a illusion of a giraffe?
I think that I took a taser, a moist taser from the corpse of my father.
You did?
And use a moist taser on that giraffe with a scythe.
Please roll an attack roll.
I rolled a 4.
As you go to shoot the taser, it turns out you have the taser pointed the wrong way, and you tase yourself.
No.
As you are laying, quivering on the ground, the illusion you find out actually is a hirsute giant space hamster, which ends up hitting you with its giant space hammer. And unfortunately, Mortimer Jr. passes away.
2 generations gone in the blink of an eye.
I guess that I'm going to have to send Mortimer the Feckless the third in.
Well, at this point, the giant hirsute space hamster has gone. But you do find a pool of slimy water, and in it, there's a piece of Tupperware again. What do you do?
So much Tupperware in this dungeon.
I think I have to crack open that Tupperware because otherwise my father and grandfather have died in vain.
Well, in it,
Sure.
there's a yo-yo of life and a sliver of the color taupe just sitting there. And you're pretty sure that the sliver of taupe can double knot someone's shoes without them being told about it. So
I
now
guess
remember,
maybe
you
that
now
will be
have
useful later.
the yo-yo of life and the sliver of taupe with you. But as you've gone through this pool and picked up this Tupperware, you find that there is a door with a rotten corpse of an architect slain by a message. And under or next to them is a box soffit. Also, there's this kind of bubbling pot of dry ice with a neck and a candied child bobbing up and down in it with a spatula sitting next to it.
Oh no.
I'll fish out that candy child with a spatula. That might be tasty.
Excellent. And that's the end of room 3.
Well, I have something exciting, Dungeon Master.
Oh,
we have we have another solo task. For this solo
who
task,
gets this one?
I asked Greg to decide on what Great British Bake Off host or judge would be the best addition to an adventuring party and why. Greg, do you remember what you had decided?
I
Greg,
wrote it down.
Greg, before you say anything, I just want you to know, before we did this, I was watching Great British Baking Show, so my hopes are really, really high.
Well, I think Sandy Toxvig would be a great companion. Aside from being extremely funny, she's a writer. She is creative. She's written a lot of children's books. She has a background in archaeology and anthropology. When she was at school, she double majored in that kind of. When she was asked what she would bring to a desert island as part of that desert challenge they do, she said that she would bring, aside from a bunch of, I think it was the newspaper that asked her the question. She's like, I'll bring a bunch of the newspapers so I have something to wipe my ass with. But she would bring the Ashley Book of Knots. So she's practical and resourceful. And that's why I think Sandy Toxvig would be the best person to bring.
What's your judgment of this task, Dungeon Master? How many points is it worth?
You got me right here, Greg. You got me right here. I'm gonna give you 5 for that one. You got one of my favorite hosts, so you get 5 points there.
Wow.
She's very funny.
She is very funny.
She is very funny.
But I feel like we've gotten through a good bit of this nonsense, assistant.
If you say so, Diabolic One.
What are the current scores here? I haven't really been keeping track of the points. I mean, how badly are they doing?
Oh, admin is all my my duty anyway. That's why I'm the assistant, and why I love spreadsheets so much. So currently, going in alphabetical order by. Well, do you want me to go lowest to highest or alphabetical order by first name?
Let's go alphabetical order by first name, so they have to figure out where they sit in the.
Oh,
the
okay. Excellent. Now, everyone keep in mind that we've had 2 solo tasks where people have gotten potentially some bonus points. So all hope is not lost yet, just mostly. So Christy is currently sitting at 9.5 points with that coveted half point. Might be enough to get her over the top if she starts doing decidedly better. Greg has 11 points. James has 10 points. Joel has 7 points, and Ryan has 8 points. Though Greg and Christy already have the penalty, sort of already having their solo test done.
Well, I'm getting kind of bored of this. Can we take a break?
Absolutely, Dungeon Master. We're going to take a 10-minute break, and we'll be back at about 8:45 Central Time. Don't forget, contestants, that whoever gets the most donations in about the next hour, number of donations, not amount, will win 5 sweet points, as well as any ties. So those of you doing pretty poorly might want to start begging your followers for donations to help you come back.
The chat is asking, how are the donation points sitting?
I believe that right now I see that Greg has gotten 1 donation during this
Thanks,
time.
whoever that was.
Joel has gotten 10 donations. Man,
What?
a bunch of donations, more than I can quickly count. I'm gonna have to do more admin than I was expecting.
Wow.
Ryan has gotten 3 donations.
Nice.
James has gotten 1 donation. And Christy has gotten 3 donations.
Wow.
Nice.
But we will be back in about at about 8:45.
Okay.
Okay.
Joel, I'm so sorry.
No, it's okay. This is a team effort. It's okay.
It was good entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been 100% better than like my trying to tell you, like you trying to get me to draw something.
You know, I felt like I was on a solid system for him being able to describe in what direction things were. Until I saw the damn map, which was the actor drawing. So.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'm gonna mute my chewing noises. Hey, James.
Hey. Now, I wouldn't want to be underhanded. But I will say that you can go to Known World United on extra-life.org and find any of us and make donations right now. And Greg and I really care about the kids.
I mean, I also care about the kids.
Joel also cares about the kids. Also, if you go to Instagram.com/fingertwitchings, he has commissions up that you can commission. All that money's going to go to the kids. And it's outstanding.
Ooh, that gives me an idea. Okay. I've been trying to encourage people all throughout to donate $2 at a time to me.
Mm-hmm.
So 2-minute drawing per 2-minute donation.
Oh.
Until Taskmaster is over. Just include what 2-minute drawing you would want in with your donation. And if you've already donated $2, regardless of how many times, you can DM me what you would like for your 2-minute drawing. And I don't know the timeline on delivery, but I will get those all done and out to you because I'm shameless and losing, or I'm winning or bad at math.
I love how you are using the rules I arbitrarily set up to try to win. So, wow.
I've been furiously texting people like, it doesn't have to be, I just need as many as possible. Donate $1 10 times. And we're there. But yeah, if it helps, if you're watching and you don't have any idea who I am, just know that a $2 donation, I will give you a $2 sketch of anything you want. Just know, and you have seen the drawing skill that I can bring to bear in a short period of time. You could have this sent to you for a mere $2 donation.
And after that command performance.
Yeah, only it could be like Spider-Man or Castle on a Hill. I don't know. What
You could just make Joel draw the actual dungeon.
Yeah. I mean, you'll get the 2-minute version of it, but
will it have the pizza shape? That's what
Zack,
people
are we
want to
streaming
know.
again?
it may.
Will it have a pneumatic tube?
It probably will, which will be indecipherable from an elevator shaft or whatever.
What is square and what is round, Joel? Come on.
Chrissy, have you never ridden in a circular elevator?
Probably.
The thing that really killed me is I tried to give you an easy out to go like pen side, my right hand.
Yeah, and you're like, I don't understand.
My left
No,
hand.
because like when you lifted your hands up, they came out, and I just saw the pen, and I was like, "What the fuck do you mean pen side?"
The pen is in one side and the clipboard is on the other. Like left and
Which
right.
would have been useful had I been able to see your hands with those things. Because your hands just like came out of your background, and so I just saw like the pen, and I was like, the side of the pen that writes, Joel? What do you mean pen side?
Out of curiosity, did anybody understand pen side, clipboard side?
Yes.
We write it.
I knew what you were going for.
Okay.
I did.
Okay. I was like, am I crazy?
No, you're not crazy. I just couldn't see. Zach's asking if the stream's restarted.
Well, and yes, I am crazy. That's not.
What?
It's legit.
You just
Is
said
the stream on?
Yeah, stream's on.
Okay.
That would have been hilarious if I made my donation pitch for 2 minutes. And it was all like offline.
Just really practicing. Okay.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Lovely.
Oh, this is fantastic.
Well, we're back to Dungeon Taskers, where 5 fools have all agreed to embarrass themselves for meaningless points.
I'm here to debase myself for money.
And I've managed to lose my assistant. It's not the first time I've lost my assistant tonight.
Zack, you're muted.
But we were just talking
just-
about how they're all embarrassing themselves for very
Yeah.
meaningless points.
Yeah, just don't ask me what I was doing on the break.
He was coming upstairs, literally laughing so hard he was crying, just muttering "pizza shape" at me.
I think that you'll enjoy this next task that I've devised, oh wise one.
I mean, you've been wrong before, though, right? Okay, let's just get on with this.
Maybe you'd feel better if you subjected me to another deadly dungeon room.
You know, that does always make me feel a little bit better. So, you got to the end of the last room, and now you have this candied child with a spatula. And just inside the chamber of this dwarven carved stone blocks is a mimic that appears to be a pan that attacks Mortimer III's butt. Beyond,
Not my glorious butt.
please roll a Constitution save.
Joel, are you
Mortimer
okay? I see you
the Third
cry
is lucky.
laughing over that.
He
How
has
lucky?
gotten an 18.
Oh, the magnificence of Mortimer's butt bangs the pan off, and you're able to continue on without a problem. But beyond this pan is a hairy illuminated text, which hangs on the wall next to a mural of a humanoid badger dressed as a person of the night, a hooker, you might say, who is standing in front of
Person of the night.
a set of flying buttresses eating an anise star while watching a battle between a mimic and an elf wielding the pen in a hand and shooting poison from the other.
Oh, I'm just stuck on the fact that there's lots of flying buttresses again.
They're a good architectural
Well, I mean,
feature,
we did
okay?
find a dead architect earlier in the dungeon. That's probably the problem.
He died
Now-
of buttress overdose.
Exactly.
No such thing.
On the opposite wall is a mural depicting a halfling wizard casting Gulder's Tower at an ogre to keep them from getting to the wizard's Time and Bilbo. Now, near this is a door of philantho green bedpans sitting on or in a coat stand. This dungeon is really starting to get weird as we continue to go through.
So it's like a coat stand with a bunch of bedpans hanging off the hooks.
Yes, and they're all that kind of weird green you associate with bedpans. Do you open the door that's near that?
It's probably a bad idea, but yes.
Okay. When you open it, the odor of Sex Panther fills the room. And inside
It works every
Oh
time.
no.
is a Buzz Lightyear. And that will take us to the end of room 4 with only one dungeon room left and only our third Mortimer.
I do feel good about Mortimer III's chances. So now, I believe that Joel has not had the... Wait, yes. No. Joel has had the pleasure of opening a task. Ryan, I don't believe, has opened a task yet. Ryan, would you like to open task 7?
Task 7.
Or no, sorry, task 5.
Five.
Okay, cool. Um,
I was like, we're skipping ahead, but that's because I skipped ahead on my script.
all right, task 5. Examine the character sheet sent to you by the Dungeon Master's assistant earlier for 30 seconds. Your time starts now.
So again, everyone should have gotten this. You might have glanced at it a little earlier. You're going to have like 30 seconds to examine it. You'll be able to refer back to it during task 6, but it's important to spend some time examining and thinking about it now. And my glorious hourglass indicates you have about 15 seconds left. You at least have located the character sheet again so that you can refer to it during your normal time. But time is up. So, Ryan, do you want to read task 6?
I do.
I like how we've gotten better at opening envelopes as we've gone along.
Listen, we're evolving as a people. Task 6. Answer as many of the attached list of questions about the character whose character sheet you have. Most interesting and fully realized character wins. There will be a bonus point for the person who answers the most questions. You can reference the character sheet as much as you need to. You have 90 seconds. After time ends, you will tell the Dungeon Master the name, ancestry, class, and background of the character, as well as all the questions you answered for them. Your time starts now.
It's not starting now. It's going to start once everyone has taken the envelope that has questionnaire or questions written on it and is ready to pull the questions out.
So, can we read the instructions one more time,
Yeah.
please?
Well, actually, I don't get to choose that, but I will if I'm allowed to.
I will read them while you get ready. I will read those instructions again. Will you get ready to pull out your questionnaire? Because I have them handy. So you're going to answer as many of the questions about the character whose character sheet you have. The most interesting and fully realized character, as judged by the Dungeon Master, will win. There will be a bonus point for the person who answers the most questions. You can reference the character sheet as much as you need to. You have 90 seconds. When you have to introduce your character, you will tell the Dungeon Master the name, ancestry, class, and background of the character, as well as all of the questions and questions you answered for them and those answers. Is everyone ready to take out their questionnaire?
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Your time starts now.
It's a long questionnaire.
You can just answer the questions you want.
Can we write on the task?
Yeah, well, you can write on the task, you can write on the questionnaire, you can do whatever you need to do.
Okay.
But you are down to 1:10. Are you enjoying the foolishness, Dungeon Master?
I am so far. I'm enjoying that Christy spent 20 of her seconds asking some more questions. We'll see if it pays off.
It might pay off just the way that Flat Pizza did.
Excuse me, it was pizza shape.
Just under 30 seconds left. I'm checking to see. Looks like Christy got another donation since I updated. James still hasn't gotten any more donations. Really slacking there. The beard is not coming through. 5 seconds.
I mean, I
3,
think Joel's 2-minute pitch
2,
really
1.
is probably going to win him those 5 points.
Now,
Okay.
I have to also tell everyone that the other thing that these characters were judged on is they were created by one of your other contestants.
Oh my god.
And the person who originally created the character was penalized if they created the character with the same name, background, ancestry, or class as another character that was created. And I'd just like to make it official that because of this, Greg lost 1 point, James lost 2 points, Joel lost 1 point, and Ryan lost 1 point.
What?
Yeah, Joel bragged to me when I dropped off his things the other day that no one else would create a character anything like his. And he was wrong.
It can't be true.
Well, it will be proven true as we're going to start with Christy introducing her character's name, ancestry, class, and background, and then the questions that she answered.
Okay. So, I have our good friend. Hold on a second here. Okay. I have our good friend Merdinand Foodie. Merdinand is a half-orc bard who is a seeker. However, their pronouns fall. Alignment is neutral. Their background is ranger. What else did you want?
So name, ancestry, class, background, and then the questions you answered.
Okay. So my questionnaire answers about Merdinand. I answered some things like, what are some ways this character acts silly? And Merdinand is very fond of frolicking and skipping joyfully. Merdinand's favorite color is blue, the color of the sky, under which he frolics so joyfully. His favorite word or catchphrase to overuse is dynamite! His simple little habit is licking his spear he carries. He's just like really into his spear. It is also his most treasured possession. While Merdinand's favorite color is blue, his least favorite color is purple, and that's because purple's for old ladies. Merdinand is a Taurus, obviously. Merdinand is violently allergic to bananas, which is a bummer, because bananas are delicious. Merdinand's favorite season is spring, because it is the best time for frolicking. And Merdinand's, what is the other question I answered here? I can read my own handwriting. Oh, what 3 words best describe this character's personality? Merdinand is mirthful, Merdinand is happy-go-lucky, and Merdinand is... What is this word I wrote? Hold please as I decipher my own hieroglyphics.
It's pizza slice.
Pneumatic.
Pneumatic
God damn
tube.
it.
Yeah, pneumatic.
Tube. Okay. Mirthful, happy-go-lucky. I think
sounds
this
like
is supposed to say joyful, but I can't read my handwriting, so I can't confirm that.
All right. Well, we're gonna move on to Greg.
Beautiful.
Greg, what is the name, ancestry, class, and background of your character, and what questions did you answer for them?
So I received the character sheet for Bjorkus Malorkus Jr. He's a human wizard who is a wizard's apprentice. So why is this character afraid of geese? Geese killed his dad, Bjorkus Malorkus Sr. What does this character typically keep in their pockets? A mini Memnon. That's the deity he worships, so he always keeps a small one around. What is this character's favorite scent? Burning geese. If this character were in a rock band, what role would they play? Drummer. Obviously, it's the wand. How does this character blow off steam? Blowing up geese. What is this character's favorite candy? Sour balls. What food or meal does this character wish they could cook, and how do they always screw it up? They wish they could cook goose. They always burn it. And
That's why you boil it.
how does this character flirt? Relentless bragging.
All right. James, what is the name, ancestry, class, and background of your character, and what questions did you answer for them?
It's very difficult to pronounce this because there are no vowels. But it's Grg, I believe. Do you roll the R's? I think so. He's a kobold, or they're a kobold ranger. They're lawful, a sailor, and their deity is Getty. Grg is terrified of geese because they saw one pull Jesus out of thin air this one time. Insane. Absolutely insane. They're like walking around with rope and chain in their pocket. They would play bass were they to be in a rock band, and their favorite scent is lettuce. They blow off steam on a boat. It checks out. Their favorite candy is gummy sharks. I suppose those would also always be in their pockets. And flounder, ironically. Lots of catches, not a lot of luck cooking flounder. Too delicate. And if they were to be walking in a desert along the sand and suddenly they look down, they see a tortoise that's crawling towards them, and they reach down, they flip the tortoise over on its back. Tortoise lays on its back, its belly baking in the hot sun, beating its legs, trying to turn itself over, but it can't. Not without their help. This character is not helping. Why is that? Well, it's because Grg believes that those who live in the sea should stay in the sea, and if they don't, they have turned their back on their God.
Not because he's a replicant?
No. Grg would be able to tell. He's been around the block. Grg.
All right, Joel, what is the name, ancestry, class, and background of your character that you've been given, and what questions have you answered about them?
Bardsley Chumblecrunch is a kobold bard. Background of minstrel. And the question is, why is this character afraid of geese? Kobolds are famously afraid of geese. What does this character typically keep in their pockets? Gummy bears, because how else do you keep them soft? What is this character's favorite scent? Moss. If this character were in a rock band, what role would they play? Roadie. How does this character blow off steam? Usually making soup. Favorite candy, peppermint. Food that they wish they could cook but always ruin. It's toast, and they always burn it. And if this character were a body of water, they would be a puddle.
And finally, Ryan, what is the name, ancestry, class, and background of the character you were given, and what questions have you answered about them?
So this is Shadow Darklands, Goblin, Scout, the Texas Ranger, which I think is categorically different than a Ranger, obviously. But questions.
For the Dungeon Master side.
Why is this character afraid of geese? Everything's bigger in Texas, especially the geese. What does this character typically keep in their pockets? Tic Tacs, terrible breath. What is this character's favorite scent? Manure, explains the bad breath. If this character were in a rock band, what role would they play? Roadie, because of all the walking. How does this character blow off steam? By punching cars. Why does this character's favorite candy? Black licorice. Black licorice, somebody likes it. What food or drink or meal does this character wish they could cook, and how do they always screw it up? They wish they could cook spaghetti, but they always forget to boil it. If this character were a body of water, what would they be? A babbling brook. How does this character flirt? Poorly. If this character were a potion, what would they look like? They would look like a yellow 20-ounce bottle of Mountain Dew. And what sense does this character most rely on? Danger.
All right. Well, the Dungeon Master considers which of these characters is the most fully realized and interesting. I would like the rest of you to tally up how many questions that you answered. So, Dungeon Master, which of these characters is the most interesting and fully realized?
I'm going to have to go with Joel's character because...
Shadow Darklands?
Yes. Kobold Bard. Because, I mean, gummy bears in the pockets to keep them soft. Brilliant. Just brilliant. I'm going to be honest. there is a 3-way tie for next.
Oh.
Uh,
3-way with
Greg's
4 points or
character-
3-way with 2 points?
What was that?
3-way with 4 points each or 3-way with 2 points each?
A 3-way with 3 points.
Oh, okay.
So Greg, James, and Ryan, you all showed a fear of geese, which is appropriate. Which means, Christy, since at no point did you talk about a fear of geese, that is the least realistic character ever with 1
Fair.
point.
That's fair.
And Christy, how many questions did you answer?
11.
Greg,
8.
James,
Also 8.
Joel,
Also 8.
and Ryan.
11.
Now, Dungeon Master, are you awarding a bonus point each, Ryan and Christy, for answering 11 questions, or are you giving them each a half of a point so they share a bonus point?
I mean, we did talk about a bonus point, so half to Christy, half to Ryan.
All right.
Wow.
Take it. Take it.
I will also take that.
That means that Christy is back to a full digit, and Ryan is now at a half digit. So the score
That could be the half point of victory.
I could.
Christy is now at 11 points. Greg is at 14. James is at 13. Joel is at 12. And then Ryan is at 11 and a half. But remembering that James, Joel, and Ryan have not had solo tasks yet. All right. Now, we're ready for task 7. Joel, can you please read task 7?
Yes. Maybe. Yes.
Well, now we're going backwards on our ability to open envelopes.
Task 7. Using the materials provided in the special materials box and no other materials, make the best beholder for the Dungeon Master. You may only use the materials provided. You may not use any other tools, equipment, or supplies. And you will have 5 minutes.
Before you say that, is everyone have their box at hand and is ready to open it to see your special materials?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Everyone can open their box and have just a moment to look at the materials, and then I will tell you when your time starts.
Oh, God.
All right. You have 5 minutes. Your time starts now.
I mean, assistant, do we just have to kind of sit here, or can we finish this farce of a dungeon instead of just twiddling our thumbs for like 4 minutes?
I know that this dungeon's going to end with a great treasure for me, so let's do that.
It's gonna at the very least end. I know that. So you just saw this Buzz Lightyear as you're about to enter into the 5th and final room. When you step into the final treasure chamber of the dungeon of the Mad Lib, a maul swings down from the ceiling as a trap. Roll a dexterity check.
Mortimer the Feckless III. He's very much more lucky than his father and grandfather. I got a 16.
Oh. The maul comes swinging by you as you're able to then kip into the room. The room is all painted heliotrope. And Frogometh, who is also a skilled surgeon, casts reverse gravity from behind a flying buttress on Mortimer III. Roll a wisdom check.
A 19.
You're able to resist the reverse gravity of the spell cast from behind the flying buttress. and you keep going into the dungeon, you end up in front of a vault door that is actually a bodega, and it has a vacuum. But on the back of the vacuum is a dire bear that spits out fentanyl at you. Make a dexterity challenge.
I rolled a 20.
Oh, you survived the fentanyl. But you find that the vault is also animated by a giant teddy bear made out of platinum and decorated in friendship that shoots out swole gummy bears as an attack. Make a charisma check.
I'm not very much full of charisma. I got a 3.
Oh, as you are crushed by this swole gummy bear, Mortimer III finally comes to his end.
So a decade later, when Mortimer I goes in, what does he find?
As you come back in and you step across the now decayed bones of Mortimer III. Inside the vault is a credenza, and it is full of filth-borne illness. But as you pull it open, there's a crystal a crystal tainted of Mad Libs, waiting to congratulate those are reaching this treasure vault. But really, it is only a few coins, and mostly smells like sandalwood, which is really just kind of a lot of disappointment, which kind of fits with the theme of a lot of tonight, disappointment.
I suppose. Speaking of disappointment, I am perhaps giving the contestants a disappointing message to say that they have a minute 20 left to construct their beholders.
Why isn't there glue?
Why are the eyes sticky?
Why are the eyes sticky? I hate it.
In my defense, I didn't realize that the eyes weren't sticky. I assumed that, like all classic googly eyes, that they weren't sticky.
Update, they're not.
And I hope they get
they're really
the eyes arranged appropriately for like the different rays. I'm going to be judging on that.
Good luck.
I mean, listen, Christy, I do have a bachelor's degree in zoology of beholders.
That's true.
We're down to 38 seconds for your beholder creation.
God, come on.
Why are the eyes sticky? Oh no.
20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and your time is up. So, Dungeon Master,
down.
I had provided them with a round cardboard, round piece of cardboard, a round circle of cardboard, a Sharpie marker of a dark color, different for each one, but like a dark color, a bag of pipe cleaners, and a bag of googly eyes. As well as, I think the crowning achievement of that thing is a pickleball.
Oh, is that what it is?
Yeah, it's a pickleball.
Okay.
Christy, would you like to show the Dungeon Master the beholder that you have created?
This is obviously his central eye because it's the biggest one.
How many eye stalks do you have?
So many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
All right. So that was Christy's beholder. Greg, are you ready to show the Dungeon Master your beholder?
Mm-hmm. This is Starence. eyes, Terrence. He's got 8 eye stalks, but one of them is missing an eye. The rest of them are equipped. And he's sad because he is missing one eye. So
A
sad.
tragic story.
I don't know what happened to the other eye.
James, would you like to show the Dungeon Master your beautiful beholder?
Ooh, very nice.
Very solid.
How many eye stalks do we have there?
So many.
You're in mute.
10.
All right.
2, 2,
Uh,
6,
Joel, what does your beholder look like here?
Ooh, that's
Oh,
great.
I think our beholders know each other.
And because it seemed appropriate, I gave it a butthole on the backside, along with having drawn on a whole bunch of little tiny eyes, so that the eyes would still be represented. I would also argue that each little dot on the hole in the pickleball, potentially an eyeball. Yeah, theoretically.
All right. So finally, Ryan, what does your glorious beholder look like?
Go. My beholder. It's got an eye. They have a lot of eyes on the stalks, but they're closed. So.
All right. Dungeon Master, are there any of those beholders that you need to see a second time?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
Thank God. I don't know if mine will hold up to being held up again.
I mean, it's gonna, it's, I'm going to see them again in my my dreams and my nightmares moving forward. So,
All right. Well then, how would you like to judge them? Shall we start with the worst beholder?
huh? Huh.
This is like the glowing fake.
Yeah.
This is where a parent would be like, "I love all my children equally."
No, I don't love all the children equally. I'm gonna give Christy 1 point.
My beholder's beautiful.
You had seven eye stalks. That's just weird.
That's because one of them fell out.
I'm gonna give Greg 2 points.
Beauty is
Joel,
in the eye of the beholder.
You get 3 because yours came with a butthole, and I think that's worthy of middle place amongst this group.
Anatomically
Ryan, you had that nice central eye. I'm going to give you 4. And James 5.
Beautiful.
James, can we see that glorious beholder one last time?
I mean, I just love the way the tentacles or the eye stalks kind of loomed.
All right. This next task is going to be interesting.
Is it?
Are we doing task 8?
We are doing task 8. We have enough time for task 8. So I believe.
I'm
James,
sorry, guys. We should have taken more time. I'm sorry. This is going to be painful for you.
James, would you like to read task 8?
I would love to. Let me get to it. Task 8. All right. Task 8. The Dungeon Master will read you 3 riddles. Once the Dungeon Master reads out a riddle, you'll have 30 seconds to answer that riddle. If you do not answer the riddle within 30 seconds, you will forfeit the point. If you answer the riddle correctly, or close enough, As judged by the Dungeon Master, you will score 1 point.
The questions or the riddles are going to go round robin style. So it will start with Christy. Lance, if you want to say who you're addressing each one, in case people forget where they go in the alphabet.
Okay, so we're going to start with Christy. The riddle is, I am a silver snake. I have no home, so I must make one in the White Rock. But I am chased away by the Red River, and so I can never rest. What am I?
You're a silver snake. You make your home in the White Rock.
But chased away by the Red River.
The Red River. This is my actual nightmare. I don't know.
There's no penalty for a wrong guess. You just won't get a point.
Spectacular.
You are out of time. You have forfeited the point.
That's fine.
It's a sword.
Do you want to reveal it? Oh.
It's a sword.
It's a sword. Okay.
A sword.
Well, let's see if Greg can do better. Who is the great one who grasps the earth, swallowing wood and water? Bad weather he dreads, wind but no man, and picks a fight with the sun. Guess my riddle.
What? Can you read that one more time? While I'm
Who is that great one who grasps the earth, swallowing wood and water? Bad weather he dreads, wind but no man, and picks a fight with the sun. Guess my riddle.
Darkness.
No.
I don't know.
Fog.
Oh, I was gonna say water, but then water was already part of the riddle. So.
James.
Yep.
When I am alive, I do not speak. Anyone who wants to takes me captive and cuts off my head. They bite my bare body. I do no harm to anyone unless they cut me first. Then I soon make them cry.
Will you repeat it?
When I am alive, I do not speak. Anyone who wants to take me captive and cut off my head. They bite my bare body. I do no harm to anyone unless they cut me first. Then I soon make them cry.
Onion.
That is correct for 1 point. Joel.
Mm-hmm.
My home is not quiet, but I am not loud. The fates have meant us to journey together. I am faster than he and sometimes stronger, but he keeps on going for longer. Sometimes I rest, but he runs on. For as long as I am alive, I live in him. If we part from one another, it is I who will die.
What the shit? I'm gonna go with tapeworm.
Nope, that's not correct in this one. It is a fish in a river.
Oh.
Ryan, this one, the assistant is going to make us both hurt because this is a long one. On Earth, there's a warrior of wondrous origin. He created gleaming by two dumb creatures for the benefit of man. Foe bears him against foe to inflict harm. A woman often fetters him, strong as he is. If women and men provide for him in the proper manner and often feed him, he'll obey them and serve them well. Those who succor him win themselves pleasure, but this warrior savages. The man who lets him becomes proud.
Is it a cat?
Fire.
That was a good guess, though.
Fire.
But the next ones are going to be, well, I was going to say easier, but really they're shorter. They're going to be shorter. So hopefully that'll help. We're going to come back around to you, Christy.
Oh, good.
Names give power. magic to control, but what is broken by naming it?
Names give power, magic to control. What is broken by naming it?
There's no penalty for a wrong guess. Almost out of time.
Fine, we'll just let time run out. That's fine.
It's silence, Christy. Silence.
Oh, that's a good one.
Turns out your silence didn't get you a point here.
Ironic.
Greg,
Rough.
towns without houses, forest without trees, mountains without boulders, and waterless seas. What am I?
One more time.
Towns without houses, forest without trees, mountains without boulders, and waterless seas. What am I?
You are ants. I don't know.
A map.
Why do I know everybody's riddles but mine?
Map.
Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, well.
This one's for
Same.
James. Better old than young. The healthier it is, the smaller it will be.
Better old than young. The smaller it is, the healthier it will be. I don't know. An ego.
A wound. A wound. Joel.
Yes.
Two friends stand and travel together, one nearly useless without the other. What are they?
Feet.
Ooh.
It's up to you.
I'm going to give it to you. It's supposed to be boots, but feet, that's to me
The
close
boots
enough.
aren't going to do you any good without the feet.
Yep. Okay. Ryan, what is so fragile, even speaking its name will break it?
Is it silence again?
It is. It is.
Yeah.
We're back to you, Christy. We're back
Oh God,
to you.
there's more.
There's one more
There's
for
one
everyone.
more.
What has a golden head and a golden tail, but no body?
Coin.
Correct. See, you got one, Christy.
Got one.
So, Greg, this one's for you. Your mother is an orc. Your father is a dwarf. What are you?
Father is a dwarf. There's an orc. Father is a dwarf. I really don't know this one.
You know, are you gonna hazard a guess?
I have
Anything?
no idea in what way to guess it. No.
Remember, I didn't write these. You're a dork. James.
Sure.
The beast of the plains, it goes through the ground, constantly on the search for its next meal. While it hates the taste of dwarves and elves, it loves the taste of halfling.
Warg.
A bullet. Joel, your last one. This thing can stay completely hidden in even the broadest of daylight, in halls and rooms that monsters waits to ambush its next victim. Watch out from below because it is the floor that this thing awaits.
Floor that this thing awaits. Can you read it one more time, please?
Yep. This thing can stay completely hidden in even the broadest of daylight, in halls and rooms that monsters waits to ambush its next victim. Watch out from below because it is the floor that this thing awaits.
I'm going to go with mimic.
I'm not gonna be able to give you this one because it's a rug of smothering.
Oh no!
And
It's a specific
Ryan,
kind of mimic.
the last riddle.
Mhm.
What grows up while growing down?
A tree.
A goose.
Oh my god. Oh my god. I hate it.
And on that, I think it's time, isn't it, for the next solo task?
Yeah, let me just add those points into the thing. I want to apologize to everyone. I wanted like an intellectual task, and apparently we all lack some intellect.
I would never have gotten the rug of smothering. That's very specific. I don't think you could solve that just with the riddle, unless you had knowledge of a rug of smothering.
I've never heard of a rug of smothering.
It's a classic D&D thing, so I assumed that
I've never
maybe
played
some
actual
people get
D&D.
it. I know
I know
you
rug of
hadn't, Greg, which is
smothering.
why you didn't get it.
Oh, wow.
So, surprise! This solo task was not like the others. This one was completed by James, Joel, and Ryan, so they're all going to be judged at the same time. So James, you're going to go first. So this, I asked, we asked each of the three of you to make an adventuring party out of Muppets. The Muppets had to be actual Muppets, which means that they had to be from like the Muppet Show or movies, and not from Henson things like Labyrinth. For each Muppet, they were also supposed to name what class it would be and why in a sentence or two. So Dungeon Master, you're going to judge who has the best adventuring party made out of Muppets.
This may be the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
So James, what is your adventuring party of Muppets?
My adventuring party of Muppets starts with Gonzo, who is most obviously a warlock. He's a weirdo, but he's our weirdo. Is his patron Charles Dickens? Is it Scrooge? If it's got to be a Muppet, we'll make it the Ghost of Christmas Present. Number 2, Rolf the dog. Bard. Boy, this piano's out of tune. I love out of tune pianos. Name a better man's best friend. Oh, wait. 3, Dr. Bunsen Honeydew. Artificer. Kermit, Mr. Dull is out. I've got in touch with my inner funkmaster, and his name is Snoop Doggy Doo. He's cooking up what you need. 4, Lou Zealand. Underrated Muppet. Rogue. You throw the fish. Sneak attack. And the fish comes back to you. And number 5, Cookie Monster, my barbarian. That me secret. Me always hungry. Watch out when the cookie rage hits.
Beautiful.
All right. Joel, what is your Muppet adventuring party?
Okay, I'm leading off with Animal, who is a barbarian, given his ability to channel rage. One could argue Path of the Beast, but once he's wound up, he's so far gone, I'm going to go with Path of the Berserker. 2, Janice is my sorcerer. She can make magic happen, but has no idea where it comes from. She'd unleash something and say, like, oh, wow, man. Sure. Lunar sorcery is likely since she's a moon unit. Sam the Eagle has an unyielding grasp on laws and discipline, making him our paladin. Add in a sense of patriotism, and you've got Oath of the Crown. Aside from his performances of Daring Do, Gonzo is a druid. He's often found speaking and working with animals, especially chickens. He really loves chickens. So much so that we'd have to homebrew Circle of Chickens for him. And then closing out my party, James, you bastard, is New Zealand and his boomerang fish as our drunken master monk. Heard him talk? He drunk.
He drunk.
All right. And then finally, Ryan, what is your Muppet adventuring party?
All right, here's my lineup. Number 1, Fozzie the Bear is a barbarian, Waka Waka. Years of no one laughing at his jokes has built a deep and burning rage within Fozzie that awakens his connection to wild magic, often to hilarious result, which still no one laughs at, only deepening his rage. Number 2 is Gonzo, Warlock, Patron, the Great Chicken. It's a great old one. Pact of the Chain, his familiar is Camilla. Gonzo's immense, deeply erotic love for chickens has led him down a dark, dangerous, and horny path, swearing his soul and genitals to the Great Chicken. Number 3, Janice, Rangerer, Fey Wanderer. Janice ate some weird food one day, man, and the hallucinations got real. What a great and horrible power to behold in my hands, and look at my hands, man. She can always find weed. Number 4, Statler is a school of necromancy wizards. Statler has pursued the dark arts of necromancy in order to keep his frenemy Waldorf alive, even after his many, many, many deaths, much to Waldorf's chagrin. And finally, Waldorf, Bard, College of Eloquence, undead bard who makes frequent, even gratuitous use of vicious mockery. He chose this life, but not this unlife. Statler keeps resurrecting him because he can't learn vicious mockery himself and will otherwise be exposed as a fraud.
So, Dungeon Master, how many points would you like to award to these various Muppet adventuring parties?
Well, thank goodness this isn't whose line is it anyways, because I would just award everybody 1,000,000 points. I'm gonna go because you guys nailed it, and I'm a lover of Muppets, not Gonzo lover of Muppets way, but enjoy Muppets. I'm gonna break the tradition. Oh, this is gonna stop me from being part of Dungeon Tasker Season 2, but 5 points to all 3 of you.
Really looking rough for Christy, whose solo task got 2.5 points, while everyone else got 5. Better beg for those donations. All right. Greg,
we've learned though the secret to my heart, Christy, is Muppets. So for Season 2, if you do Muppets, you'll probably get 5 points.
But tasks didn't involve Muppets.
And Geek Hatred too. All right, Greg, would you like to open up Task 9 and read it?
Task 9, here we come. Okay, from a set of polyhedral dice, choose 4 dice. Each of the 4 dice you choose must have a different number of sides. You may donate $20 to the Dungeon Master's Assistant Extra Life Fundraiser to add a 5th die to your set of dice. Someone else may also make this donation on your behalf. You have 30 seconds to pick out dice. Your time starts now.
You get extra time if you're making a donation to me and effectively bribing me to cheat for you.
So there's no.
This is the one opportunity that we will not follow the honor system here.
So there's nothing to define what we're trying to achieve other than 4 dice.
That is all you know right now, is that you need 4 dice with different amounts of sides.
Okay.
Well, hold on while I make a donation.
And so making a donation gives us 5 dice total?
Yes.
Okay. Hold, please.
There will also be a little bit of admin that will give you time to make a donation. Also, for people watching, we're almost done, so that the time of donations for people to donate to you is nearly over. So if you're going to get people to donate to you to win points for that, it must be soon, because at the start of the next task, it will be over.
Was there a dollar amount on the donation, Zach?
The donation to me was $20.
Okay.
What should we put in the thing? Dungeon Taskers?
Sure.
All right. I did it.
What? Yep, I guess I'm just rolling with 4.
If for whatever reason it's not cooperating and you want to say that you're going to make a donation, but it's not happening right now, that is fine. I will accept honor system.
All right.
All right. Yeah, it's
It is done.
being a real jerk about it.
Yeah. There
So
will
I guess
be, there
my
will be a
question is-
donation when this site decides it's going to be cool again.
Mm-hmm.
Be cool.
All right. So is everyone making a donation, or is there anyone who's going to risk it with just the 4 dice?
You've seen how I roll.
Yep, all 5.
All right.
Also, we've passed our 75%
Hey.
here, so $15,626 already.
Yay!
Pretty
Thank
amazing.
you, everybody.
So I think we're ready for the state of the event.
Tell me we're almost done.
We're almost done.
Are you just saying that because I told you to tell me that?
Yes, but we are also almost done, which means that it is now officially the time for donations to be over.
So it sounds like we're ready for a score update.
We are, once you judge the Dungeons of Mad Libs, you're judging the order. So you have a first room, second room, third room, fourth room, and fifth room. And then I will tell you who had which room.
Oh. That's different.
So I'm going to give one 3.5 room 1 3.5 points because they were the first ones with flying buttresses. They get a bonus for being original. Also using electrum, which is the most maligned of the precious metals. Room 2, you did have pink cocaine and aubergine, which I appreciate. I'm going to give room 2 4 points. Room 3, you did use taupe, but you also had candied children and a spatula. 2 points. Room 4, you had a hairy butt. And I'm not sure how I like that, but you had Sex Panther. So 60% of the time it worked every time. I'm going to give you 3 points. And room 5, because you had a bear spitting fentanyl, and that probably says something more about me that I found that funny than anything else in the room. I'm going to give that 4.5 points. Also because of the swole gumdrop.
All right. So I will reveal that Christy was room 1 with 3.5 points. Greg was room 2 with 4 points. James was room 3 with 2 points. Joel was room 4 with 3 points. And Ryan took the most points with 4.5 points with room 5. And now, what I need, because I'm going to need a little more time to total up the total number of donations instead of just doing a starting and stopping amount. I need Christy to read the last task, the final task, or task 10. But you can wait on doing your time starts now as I calculate the scores and do this bit of admin.
Okay. The final task. When the Dungeon Master says start, roll the dice you selected in task 8. The first person to roll the same number on 3 or more dice wins 5 points. The second, 4 points, and so on until the last person rolling is left, and they will get 1 point. You must roll all of the dice each time you roll unless you donate $50 to the Extra Life fundraiser of the Dungeon Master's assistant. If you make this donation, then you can set one die to a number without rolling before or after a roll. Someone else may also make the donation on your behalf.
Wait, one more time?
the first, or I'm sorry, when the dungeon. Go ahead.
If you make the $50 donation, you get to set a die to a number after you roll.
And the goal
So you can, if your first roll you got 2 2s and a bunch of other numbers, you could just pay $50 and set one of those dice to a 2, and then you win.
And the goal is to roll dice to the same number
on 3 dice.
So if you have a D10, a D6, a D8, and a D12, you want to roll all of those dice and get the same number on each of those dice, even though they have different sides. So you want to get the 6 on 3 of those 4 dice.
Oh, dear God. What was the part about task 8, though?
That's where you chose your 4 or 5 dice.
Wouldn't that have been task 9?
Oh, sorry. Yes, task 9, sorry.
Okay.
I don't even remember task 9.
That was the one that I read.
Where you chose 4 dice, or you paid me $20 to choose a 5th one.
So when you're rolling dice in succession, is it if you roll the dice and you just pick a number, you are then trying to roll other dice to match that number like Yahtzee style, or do you have to roll all the dice until you roll 2 numbers?
So, the way it works, you're going to have a number of dice.
Right.
I think everyone paid me $20, so everyone gets to roll 5 dice.
Yes.
They're all different numbers of sides.
Yeah.
So if you have a D4 among them, you need to roll a 1, 2, 3, or 4 on the D4, and then match that number on all the other dice. You have to roll. Anytime you re-roll, you have to roll all of the dice to get a matching number. If you donate $50 to me, you can then set one of your dice to a number after you've rolled. So if you roll a 3 on the D4 and a 3 on the D8, you could set your D6 to a 3 and complete the task.
So all the dice have to be the same number.
No, 3 of them.
3 of them.
3 of them need to come up the same number.
And if our donation didn't go through yet, can we change our mind and put it
Punk.
Yes.
Yes?
Or Lance. Do you want to make a judgment call on that?
I'll go with yes.
Oh, I'm totally putting that D4 back.
It is real money.
Yes, it is real money.
It's real money.
I'll send you money after the show for a completely unrelated reason.
All right. So Joel is going to choose the option to get to roll or to set a die. Is anyone else making a donation so you set a die?
I will make a donation to set a die.
No.
For the love of the game.
Given how I've been rolling this weekend, I'm just expecting all 1s or all 3s anyway. So I'm gonna trust that holds.
All right. So if everyone is ready to roll some dice, it's going to get very noisy, and you're going to wait until Lance says start. Once you have rolled, and this is, you need to stop rolling, Christy, because that's all we hear.
I'm sorry.
Once someone has rolled 3 dice of the same number, they're going to hold up their hands to show that they're done rolling dice, so that I can know who gets done first. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this is all speed based. We're not rolling and then everybody pick it up and then rolling and then everybody pick it up.
It is just the fastest to do it. It's going to be
Dicey chaos.
Dice rolling here. Once the Dungeon Master tells you to start, you can start.
Start. Zack.
Oh no!
What?
Quicker than I expected.
How?
Oh, Greg.
No, okay. Wait, are you guys rolling all of your dice each time?
Yeah.
Yes.
What the fuck? How?
I'll mute you. This is
I have
what-
terrible luck. I rolled a 2 on a
All right.
D20.
I didn't roll any the same, I didn't roll any the same any of the times. So, oh well.
Okay.
All right. I have a decision for the Dungeon Master to make.
Yes.
We have, with the most number of donations, Joel got 9, and so we'll get the most points. Ryan got 5 and get second most. James and Christy each got 4 donations. Are they getting 3 points each or 2 points each?
You know what? Because this is for the children, 3 points each.
How many did you say I got?
9.
I'm looking at like 30.
Is it not refreshing for me?
Maybe not.
Recalculate.
'Cause
Recalculate.
I've got so.
Oh,
from
now
when-
okay.
From when we
Dang
went
it.
to break, my email inbox has
Okay.
over 30
Oh.
you received donations.
So if my numbers are wrong, please tell me, because I had refreshed the Extra Life site while you guys were like picking dice numbers, and it did not show me that many, and now it shows me more. So I think Joel still has the most. Let me see if I can refresh
Yeah,
everyone else
he
and
has the
see.
most.
But
He has the
it
most.
seems like perhaps the Extra Life site might be struggling a little bit right now because everyone's doing their event. So let me perhaps recalculate that.
I just want to acknowledge everybody's contribution.
Yes.
Beautiful people who
Oh,
made
wow. Okay.
insane quantities of donations.
Yeah, I counted 29 for Joel.
Yeah, stunning.
That's impressive. That is absolutely impressive.
That is beautiful.
And I know this doesn't count because it doesn't fit the rules, but my sister sent me digital cash. She sent me Apple Cash for $36, and she said this will be a lot of $2 donations. And I was like, that's not how this works.
Thank you for trying.
I commissioned one of every single person that's participating in Extra Life this year, so even that is more than anybody else, I think. I wanted to have a picture to remember us by, you know.
That's so nice.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
Joel.
Oh, it adjusted Ryan and Christy both up 1. I didn't even count what Joel had because it was clearly the winner.
Clearly
so
bananas.
we ended up in the same tied situation, Lance. So your judgment still stands.
Yes.
Joel got the most. He will get 5 points. Ryan and Christy are going to tie and get 4 points. James is going to get 3 points. And then are you going to give Greg 2 points or 1 point?
Greg gets 2 points.
All right. Let us see what our final scores are looking like and who is getting a coveted worthless prize of a pink skull mug with sunglasses.
Does it come with the pencils?
If you would like 8 unsharpened pencils, I have 8 unsharpened pencils.
Sweeten in the pot.
So, heartbreakingly.
Go for it. I mean, surely we have a winner after all of this nonsense.
Yes, heartbreakingly, Greg is in last with 23 points.
I beat Greg!
Then Christy squeaks past with 24.5 points.
You all made this possible, people. Thank you very much.
Then there's a jump up to Ryan has 32 points. And Joel has 32 points, but technically gets second place because he had the most donations. Which means that James has won the event with 34 points, even though his character lost 2 points for him because he had 2 identity attributes that other people had.
Ooh, it's not it. Cobalt.
And much to my surprise, we finished before 10 p.m.
Woo!
So thank you, everyone. It was perhaps that Beholder that won it for you. The Beholder and the Muppets probably is what won you this competition, James. Thank you to everyone who participated. Thank you to everyone who donated. I think there's still other things going on, but I don't know what those are. So James or Christy or Joel or someone has to say what those are.
Well, before we get to that, Zach, thank you so much for putting this on. Thank you for letting me be the dungeon master. Just for all your work into this, I'm going to commit $100 to your extra life.
Yay!
And Greg, for being the last place, I will commit $50 to your extra life.
Hey,
Pity!
nice.
Way to go for pity!
A benevolent dungeon master. Yeah, so things that we have coming up next. Right after this, we have, oh dang, Bigfoot stole my car with my friend's birthday present in it. After that, Tales from the Loop at midnight, 2 a.m., and that'll be second time. We're going to have Minds of Moria, a little Bad at Games. There's going to be some Bad at Games. Minecraft at 8 a.m. Over on the second channel at 6 a.m., Doug and Cassandra will be running an escape simulator. At 11, we have All Out of Bubblegum, a totally bananas action movie play out. At 1 p.m., Oz, the Weird and Wonderful. And then anybody who's still awake, join us when Oz wraps up for an Extra Life 2024 wrap show. It's been 10 lovely years together. We've done everything from RPGs to murder mysteries to now dungeon taskers. And we have raised to date over 100 and where's our total at now? $112,000 over the last 10 years. So thank you all for making that happen. Thanks for watching. Shaggy Joel, Soulbrig, everybody who hung out, Quiz G. Thank you for hanging out and donating and making our first Dungeon Taskers a successful season. Maybe season 2 next year.
I'm hoping season 2.
We gotta get renewed.
Filled with
we'll see. Maybe season 2 will be Puzzle Dungeon, all of the riddles.
I'm gonna be out of town for Extra Life next year.
All right, we'll
right,
see you
thanks again,
shortly
everyone.
for Oh Dang.
Yeah, and I believe if anybody else wants to play, there are still plenty of slots if you want to come play Odang with, I think, just myself and Joel and James.
I'll play. Sure.
Come play. Come
All right.
play.
Do it.
The links in
Sweet.
the
It's in the thing.
the spreadsheet.
I've done this before.
I'm just
I'm
trying
not
to
new here, okay?
Good night, all.
Okay,
Thank you.
It's our 5
Thank you
after.
so much, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.